I went to see Night Swim in the theater and I loved it! This is only the second movie I've seen in the theater since before the coronavirus pandemic. Crazy, right? I'm not even a horror movie fan, but when I saw a movie named Night Swim, meaning it would be about swimming and fear, I had to go see it, and it was worth the trip. Something this movie does very well is that it touches on our different feelings about the water. Sometimes we love being around the water, and sometimes we are afraid around water. I'll call the times that we love being around water good water moments, and I'll call the times we're afraid around the water bad water moments. So here's a story, and warning, spoilers ahead. It's summer 1992. Rebecca Summers' brother is sick. She goes to get his toy from the pool for him. She gets sucked into the pool and disappears. Flash forward to the current day. Former baseball player Ray Waller is sick and can't play anymore. His family, wife Eve, daughter Izzy, and son Elliot, are moving to a new town to find a place to live. The wife hopes that they can finally stop moving so much like they did every time he was traded. The doctor tells him that he should get some soft exercise every day, like swimming. This is a good water moment. Swimming is an exercise that you can do even if you're injured. The water holds you up and your weight does not add stress to your body. So they decide to get the house with the pool. At school, Izzy meets a cute boy called Ronan when he invites her to be on the swim team. I think it's really cool that they cast a mixed black kid for this role. See, black kids drown at a higher rate than white kids because a lot of them do not get swimming lessons or access to swimming pools when they're young. So I really like that the mixed black kid here knows how to swim and is the one recruiting people to the swim team. The family is cleaning the pool. Dad cuts his hand while cleaning out the pool drain. Blackwater backs into the pool from the drain. They hire a pool guy who tells them that the pool water is coming from natural springs. The pool guy then makes a side comment about how humans evolved from water, but yet our reptile brain knows we're not supposed to be in it anymore. What he's talking about is how our brain tries to panic, to fight, flight, or to freeze when we're around water, especially when we're not familiar with water. This natural fear of water is what I call a bad water moment a lot of us have. I made a video about how our brain goes into panic in water. The pool guy says that we try to tame our brain so hard, like we want to conquer death. And he's absolutely right. If you are afraid, you can conquer your fear of deep water and learn to swim. We have a proven gentle step-by-step method to show you how. Link in the description. So the pool is ready and we get a good water moment as a family jumps into the pool. We love pools for moments like this, when we can jump into the water and play with our family. Kids are diving to get coins from the bottom of the pool. Oh, by the way, we teach you how to do this in our step-by-step course. Later one night, Mom goes for a swim. The cat's by the pool. She thinks she sees Ray from underneath the pool, but he's not there. The pool light is flickering. She's kind of scared and gets out. This bad water moment is something a lot of us can relate with. Our imaginations are wild, and when it's night, it's dark and we can't see, which makes us afraid. Now add that to our fear of water, and night swims feel somehow scarier. After checking in on the sleeping kids, she asks Ray if he was outside by the pool. He says no. She says they should put in a pool cover to be safe and check out the pool lights. Water safety tip number 1. Use barriers. Pool covers, self-latching doors with locks and alarms. Let's talk about pool covers for a moment. They're a great tool for your backyard pool to keep people out of water, especially when you're not planning for them to be there. It's a good tool to keep your family safe. Now back to the movie. The next morning, the cat is missing, but its collar is in the pool. Dad checks out the cut on his hand and it's completely healed. Dad goes for a night swim and looks like he's doing very well. The doctor confirms that he seems to be making a great recovery. This good water moment shows water helping with getting his body to feel better through swimming. Next day, son Elliot wants to swim. Mom warns him not to swim alone and to ask Dad. He goes and asks Ray to join him in diving for coins, but Ray's too busy lifting weights. So he sends Elliot off to swim by himself, but makes him promise to stay in the shallow end. Ray writes a smiley face on a coin and promises to join Elliot later to dive for it. Water safety tip number 2, have a water watcher. This was a bad call from Dad. You never want to swim alone, and you especially want the responsible person watching kids when they swim to make sure you can act quickly if something goes wrong. Elliot sticks Dad's smiley coin to his Superman toy. As he's swimming, someone is throwing the coins into the pool, so he swims to get them, even from the deep end. He comes up expecting to see Dad. There's no one. He hears a voice from the pool skimmer asking for help. The voice says that her name is Rebecca Summers and she needs help finding her mom. Also, she has a Superman toy. As he reaches to grab it from the skimmer, a hand reaches out from the skimmer and tries to pull him in. It's given the movie It. Remember the clown in the sewer scene? Thankfully, he's able to pull away. He has just had a really bad scare, a bad water moment. He finds and tells his mom. They don't see anyone by the pool. Ray tells Eve that he thinks that Elliot is pretending with imaginary friends. Dad will be going to Elliot's baseball practice later and hopes it will help him make friends. Mom Eve will come too to help him feel less nervous. They agree to have a pool party later in the week and invite co-workers, friends, and get everyone to get to know the Waller family. At practice, Eve tries to get Elliot to not feel so nervous by telling him that everybody is afraid of something. Well, this is true, and it's a big reason we should never be ashamed to be afraid of deep water. We feel afraid when we're in a situation that's unfamiliar. It is completely natural to be afraid, and there should be no shame. So Elliot goes to bat and does okay. After all the kids have batted, they invite Dad to hit a few at the end. Ray misses first pitch, has a bat fall on the second pitch, but hits pitch number 3 so beautifully. He knocks it out of the stadium. He even shatters one of the stadium lights. Later, there's a lovely scene where we see Ray just floating on his back, resting in the pool. I love this scene because we can see a natural back float, with his legs below his knees hanging down in the water. A mistake many people make when trying to back float is that they think that their legs need to be straight on top of the pool. They don't. We teach you how to float in our course. Parents leave for the night. Easy invites cute boy Ronan over. They hang out in the pool, playing Marco Polo. He eventually sneaks out of the pool to prank her. But she thinks she's hearing him and continues to follow into the deep end. Eventually, she dives down to chase him. A monster pulls her down. She eventually frees herself and comes out of the pool. She just had a really bad scare. A bad water moment. Water safety tip number 3. Learn how to swim and how to rescue yourself from the pool. Both Elliot and Easy's ability to swim and rescue themselves from the pool were key to their survival from their scary bad water situations. It is the day of the pool party. Elliot tries to reach out to Izzy about her bad water moment. She tells him to go away. He refuses to go. Izzy tries to tell him that Dad and Mom are happy here, so you shouldn't tell what happened to them so that they won't have to move again. Let's talk community for a moment. What Izzy doesn't realize is that having other people who have gone through something similar, a bad water scary moment, with whom you can talk with and with whom you can share lessons that you learn on your journey away from fear, is a great thing to have. When you join our step-by-step course to overcome your fear of deep water, you also join a community of people who have had similar experiences and who are also on their journeys away from fear. They can support you on your journey, and we share wins and lessons with each other. Get the course and community in the link in the description. And by the way, always tell your story. We get another good water moment with all the kids and adults jumping into and playing in the pool at the pool party. Ronan invites Izzy to get in, but she doesn't want to. This is an example of how, if you do not heal from your bad water moments, it can leave you scared and not able to have new good water moments. That is why, in our course, we help you heal your fear before we teach you to swim. Eve is telling her other mothers in the kitchen her dad was in the Navy and that she could die before she could walk. This reminds me that early in the movie, when they were first looking at the house, Eve had mentioned that she used to be scared of pools when she was young. But Her father had pushed her into a pool to either sink or swim. She swam. Water safety tip number 4. Do not push people into water. See, if you push someone into water, they can get injured and it can make their fear worse.
Landing chest first, she suffered 6 broken ribs and punctured lungs.
Mom is able to get Katie, the realtor, to tell her why the pool hadn't been used for 15 years before they got there. After much pulling, Kate tells her about Rebecca Summers drowning in the pool. In the pool, the guys and boys play chicken fight. That is this game where each team has one person sit on the shoulder of their teammate. You win by throwing the person sitting on the shoulder of the other team down into the water. Oh, by the way, it's one of my favorite pool games. The coach's son, Ty, is sitting on Ray's shoulder. They just won their round. But Ray gets possessed by the pool's dark spirit and doesn't let go of Ty, even though they're backing up into the deep end. Both Ty and Ray are in danger of drowning. This is a very, very bad water moment. Elliot sees them from the window and raises the alarm. They recover both Ty and Ray from the pool. Mom starts giving Ray CPR. Water safety tip number 5. Learn how to give emergency first aid and CPR. These are important skills to have in the case of an emergency, like if someone is pulled from a near drowning situation. The police and paramedics come. The coach doesn't press charges, but tells them that they shouldn't come to baseball practice anymore. They don't want them around their family. Eve wants to leave the house and be far away from the pool. Ray says that the pool is the best thing that's happened to him. As she drives off with him and the kids, the dark spirits start choking Ray, so they all return to the house. Ray is ill in bed but wants to go back to swim. He says that it's so cool in the deep water. Mom does research. She finds that in addition to Rebecca Summers, there are other people who have lived in the house that have disappeared. She tracks down Mrs. Summers. Mrs. Summers talks about her son Thomas, who has a very important government job that helps a lot of people around the world. She sits down next to a small fountain. Eve asks her about her daughter Rebecca Summers. Initially, Mrs. Summers denies ever having a daughter. But Eve shares how her husband has gotten better, but she and her kids have had bad experiences in the pool. There's something bad in the water, isn't there? Mrs. Summers begins to cough. Her fountain begins to overflow. She pours water into a cup and it overflows. Miss Summer tells Eve that the pool was like a wishing well for her. In a wishing well, you throw in a coin and you make a wish. The spring that feeds the pool gives you your heart's desire, but it needs something in return. Mrs. Summer gave her daughter's life in exchange for her son's. Now Ray is getting his life back. Surely, the water will take one of the family members in exchange. Eve asks for Mrs. Summers' help, but Mrs. Summer begins to cough some more. The fountain is turning black. Mrs. Summer is possessed by the dark spirit. Eve runs back home. Ray is possessed by the dark spirit while in the shower. The kids return home from school and they can't find mom and dad. As Elliot pours himself a glass of water, the water in his glass starts to move. He hears his cat meow. He goes out to the pool and thinks that the cat is on the floaty. As he leans over the pool's diving board to get it, the dark spirit pulls him into the pool. The pool cover starts to cover the pool. Izzy and Eve, who has just returned, are trying to stop the pool cover from closing. Eve jumps in while Izzy is sent to get help. In the house, Elliot's glass of water falls to the ground and breaks. Izzy slips on the spilled water and hurts her hand in the broken glass. She tries to call for help, but Ray swipes her phone, gets violent with her, and starts chasing her around. Mom sees that Elliot isn't on the pool's bottom. She realizes that she must dive deeper. She grabs the garden hose, ties it to the side of the pool, and jumps in. At the hose's limit, she takes a final breath and dives deep into the spring's depth. She finds Elliot and grabs him. Other spirits who've died in the pool try to grab her and to keep her. She wrestles them off. Rebecca Summer's spirit is holding the smiley coin that had been paid by Ray. She releases it. Eve has an option to die for the coin or make it back to the surface. She chooses the surface, gets there, and starts to do CPR on Elliot. Ray comes out and she asks him to drive them to the hospital. He strangles her. Evie comes out of the house with a baseball bat and beats the dark spirit out of Ray. As they turn to go to the hospital, the dark spirit comes from the drain into the pool and Elliot starts coughing again. Ray realizes that someone has to pay the spring. He goes into the pool, swims into the spring, and disappears. Elliot gets better immediately. Love requires sacrifice. Final scene. The Wallers decide not to move so that this does not happen to another family. They get the pool filled and covered with dirt. Something else I love about this movie is the way it explores myths, traditional stories. This movie's dark spirit is based on the wishing well myth. You feed the wishing well a coin and you make a wish. It's also based on another myth in African and Asian cultures about giving something for something bigger. For instance, if you lose jewelry or a large amount of money before a major event like your wedding, it is believed that those items were taken in exchange for something of greater value, something like life. The life for life exchange that the pool spring is doing is similar. We too tell ourselves a lot of stories about water. In Nigeria, we have Mami Water, which is an unfriendly water spirit. Some people avoid deep open water to avoid her. Also, when Nigerian Christians pray, we bind and we cast and we send demons to the bottom of the sea. No wonder no one is interested in swimming or diving in the ocean. Many of these stories make us think of deep water as bad water. When we experience something bad that scares us, we say the water is bad. When we experience something we enjoy in the water, we say the water is good. The truth is, the water is neither good nor bad. Water is just water. We are the ones who give meaning to what happens to us in water. If we want to have a good time and enjoy the water, we must create good water moments. We do this by learning and practicing comfort and enjoyment in water. Because the thing you practice is the thing that sticks. If you want to know how to have comfort and enjoyment around water on your next vacation, click the next video. I know you may not feel fearless now, but hang with me and we'll get there together.